Ladies and gentlemen, happy Sunday and a very warm welcome back to Kenco F1. We are down here in the midnight skies with 20 drivers where they're starting up their engines, putting on their tyre sets and getting ready for some laps around this circuit. Round 3 of 10 then in Kenco F1 and it's race day in Yas Marina, Abu Dhabi. Bright white lights illuminate this track overnight and for spectators this looks incredible with the reflections of the cars and the sound of the hybrid era. Taking a look at this very famous Yas Marina track then, 3.28 miles of tarmac, 2 DRS zones and a brand new reworked track for this year. There are 16 turns here, 9 to the left, 7 to the right with very little elevation changes. And turn 5 then has been reworked from 3 turns down to just 1 before the DRS straight. Drivers will be carrying in much more speed around here and it might be trickier for drivers to overtake. And turn 9's where the previous chicane was, but has now been removed and turned into a smooth left-hand turn before the drivers go past the yachts of Marina Bay. And finally then, turn 12, 13, 14 and 15 has ever so been slightly moved to make the racing line smoother for the drivers and creates more of a 90-degree angle around each corner. And apologies about the old graphics here. However, tyre compounds for today's race will be running on the softest compound that Pirelli have available in their range. C5 for the soft, C4 medium tyres, and the C3 hards. Onto the starting grid for this year's Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Chapman clutched victory on Friday and plants his Alpine on the front row with Joe Bean and his McLaren only a few metres behind. Adam Forbes had a spectacular qualifying and stole P3 from Sevi by just 7,000th of a second with Sebastian starting in P4. Row 3 now and we have the first Haas of Finley in a comfortable P5 alongside the Ferrari of Torben who wrecked his car during qualifying. Dylan Hartley is the next behind Finley with a Ferrari following a Ferrari, this time with Josh in P8. Row 5 and both these drivers qualified for Q3 but did not race because their cars were in total pieces around the track. Alex Peakin, the first Red Bull we're seeing in P11 alongside Joe Robinson who had all the help he can get on Friday. Taylor's reserve driver Andrew had a promising qualifying with his Mercedes sitting 10 places behind his teammates and Smits settling for P14. Callum McGrath qualified in P15 with Zach Plant sitting beside Smits. And AlphaTauri didn't exactly have a good qualifying session with Alex Watts' debut qualifying and a DSQ from the game almost immediately. James will be starting in P18 and finishing up the last road grid we have Jonathan down in P19. And that concludes the grid for this year's 2022 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Let's get this race underway. Hello everybody, I'm an absolute pillock, but there we go. Welcome into the stream everybody. We hopefully, if I jump over to this screen, not this one, this screen, we are getting going on the Grand Prix. I'm not meant to be live on this channel, I'm meant to be live on my Kenco F1 channel, but it's fine because I have just woken up at 6 AM like the rest of us and I've completely just, yeah, I'm tired. But hopefully, I haven't actually got chat, I've got chat, right, but it's the wrong chat. So I'm trying to find a way where I can get the actual Twitch chat open so I can see you guys in it. But we should be okay. If I just move around all my stuff, we should be alright. But welcome in everybody to Abu Dhabi. If you are coming in from the flight sim scene, this is a normal occurrence on a weekend, but it's done on a separate channel. But I mean, stick around. You might actually enjoy this. You never know. I hope you do anyway. We're just gonna pop out a few chats. Bear with me. And we should be able to get going. So basically what this is, it's 20 drivers. I'm going to have to explain all this again, but it's fine. We've got 20 drivers driving around Abu Dhabi. They've already qualified on Friday. And we hopefully, as you can see, I'm just going to show this on my screen here. This is the grid layout we've got for the drivers. So we've got 20 drivers from P1 down to P19 technically, as you saw in the intro sequence. And we are basically racing 29 laps, I believe, around Abu Dhabi to see who will be champion of this race. Not world champion yet, but we'll have all the graphics. It's just me, and we'll see what kind of happens, how this race unfolds. And we'll take you through the entire race. It is midnight. It is midnight. Sorry, it's clear skies as well at Abu Dhabi. But we should be in for hopefully a good race. I sincerely apologise again. It's on this channel, but it is what it is. I'm not going offline. We're sticking with this. But Aaron, hello, mate. Welcome. Hassan's here as well. Good evening, everybody. Benchy, good to see you. Zach's here. Evolution Gaming. We've got Archie. There's loads of people in here that's obviously in the race as well. QWERTY, Sky Sports F1 Live, that's it, mate. That is exactly it. We've got 4 seconds anyway till the grid lines up. We've still got formation lap to go with as well. But yeah, hopefully we should be able to see the drivers starting to make their way around the track as well. I'll hide all of the other graphics. We've got everything going though, and we'll hide the live speed overlay as well there. But yes, we are down. I'm going to turn up the sound of the actual sim as well. Hopefully you guys can hear this too. Oh, that's really loud, actually. Let me turn it down a little bit. There we go. There we go. Albozo, Andre, mate, welcome into the stream. I don't know if you guys can... If there's any sort of race engineers or something here that realise that I'm not live, if you can just make them aware of where to find this stream, if that's okay, I'd really appreciate that. Andre, oh my god, there's no alerts. I literally don't have alerts. I feel really bad. What we'll do, we'll replay all of the alerts that get played today on our next Flight Sim stream, alright? If that's okay. Ignore what's on the left-hand side. I can't really do much about that. That's not the current driver championship points. But we should be good. But Andre, mate, thank you for your 19 months. I appreciate that a lot. You keep changing your Twitch name as well. I've noticed that a lot. You keep changing your Twitch name. But yeah, thank you very much for your 19 months, mate. Get good at F1, mate. That's why I'm a commentator. That's why I'm commentating, not racing. There's a reason behind this. Jamie, hello, mate. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Danny Rick with 500 points. You never thought you'll see the day, to be honest, would you? You'd never thought you'll see the day. But yeah, we've got, like I say, 18 or 19, I mean, 18 drivers. I think Alex Watts can't make it tonight because he's got really bad electric or power cuts or whatever. But yeah, I mean, these cars look incredible around the lights of Abu Dhabi. It's just me this evening, I'm led to believe, commentating. So you'll hear this voice, and hopefully it will be a good Grand Prix. Fingers crossed anyway. We've got Max Chapman and Joe Bean on the front row of the grid, followed by Adam Forbes, had an amazing qualifying actually on Friday, and Sebastian on P4 on the second row of the grid. But yeah, we're going to be probably seeing Max Chapman slowing down a lot here, trying to get as much tyres. Oh, he doesn't really be doing that too often, but yeah, the drivers are going to be wanting to get as much heat as they can in the tyres. Really bad electric. Yes, exactly. That's a dub there. It's a dub. Graham as well. Good evening. Welcome in. Hello, everybody. Sorry that it's not Flight Sim, but it should be on the other channel, but I made a mistake. But yeah, I've been awake a few hours more than normal on a Sunday. I wonder why. I wonder why. Anyway, we are almost ready to get going again. We've got a look at Joe Bean on the front row. Look at his angle into turn 1. That is incredible. These drivers are not disqualified from the session. Do ignore it. But we are about to go green very, very soon here. And here we go. The lights turn on. When they go out, we might be going. And wait for it. Wait for it. It's lights out and away we go for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix here as Max Chapman gets an amazing start. Joe Bean loses a position already there to Adam Forbes, who's gone from P4 up to P2 there. Sorry, P3 up to P2. We've got the Aston Martin as well fighting through turn 3, through turn 4. Joe Bean losing a place there to Adam Forbes. The Haas as well and making up a few places there with Finley. If we go back to the front there, we're turning into turn 5. This has obviously been reworked since the new changes this year. Everybody seems to be getting a clean start out of there. No collisions made, not much debris at all. All the front wings are intact as Max Chapman takes us down the DRS straight without any DRS, leading the Grand Prix, followed by Adam Forbes, followed by Joe Bean, followed by Sebastian, as Joe Bean potentially makes a move here on Adam Forbes on the inside here, up the chicane. He's keeping it round, he's keeping it wide, he's taking his McLaren off the track, but he's unable to get a move here done, but it's going 3 wide now. The Aston Martin, the McLaren, and potentially the Haas is now joining the party of Finley there. And Joe Bean, again, he's on the outside line, trying to keep as much speed as he possibly can. But yeah, I mean, Sebastian there, P4 up to P2, and unfortunately, that's Adam Forbes. I mean, he's down to P5 at the moment, but he's got every opportunity to get these places back, as we're seeing all the drivers here starting on the medium tyre, apart from Smits here. He was starting on the soft tyre compound. But we are in for a dry race as well all session. There's no sign of any rain whatsoever. And hopefully we'll start getting some interval times as Max Chapman is already pulling away potentially a second there on Sebastian, as Joe Bean is still going to be fighting this Aston Martin here as we go down the leaderboard. A few more interval times hopefully will start appearing. I'm not sure why we've only got Joe Beans there. I'll try and refresh it and it should hopefully ping some more data here. But yeah, I mean, there we go. Can you see the... Yeah, you can see all the turn first. Awesome. I believe it might take 2 laps to come through. But yeah, I mean, exceptional. What's happening with Joe Bean here? He's lost another few positions. He didn't have the greatest start. Not the one that he wanted. Not at all. We got the Alpine of Max Chapman in the lead of the race at the moment. Sebastian having a really good start there from P4 up to P2. And if we have a look at the position changes gained or lost at the moment, I mean, Joe Bean is still fighting wheel by wheel here with Adam Forbes. There's a yellow flag in Sector 2. Josh O'Mara dropping a few positions. He might have gone wide there. The car still does look intact, but yeah, Josh losing a few positions there. Callum McGrath also pointing out he's up to P9 in his Williams, starting P15 today. 6 positions gained by him. And yeah, Joe Bean not having the best start, nor has Adam, who's lost 3 positions them both. But yeah, Max Chapman sort of remaining in the lead of the race. And might take it from here, as we've got a DNF, or sorry, retirement there of Jonathan, the other McLaren. This full safety car has been deployed very early on in this Grand Prix here, as Jonathan has retired. We'll try and get some more information as to why he has retired, but that means all of the grid's going to form back up again. I wonder if we'll see anybody coming into the pit lane this early on. I doubt it highly, because the strategy is normally going to be medium soft here, but we'll have a little look. But yeah, I mean, that was... Yeah, there you go. You can see the safety car there leaving the pit lane. Max Chapman slowing down to allow it to go ahead. And yeah, I mean... Oh, sorry, wrong button. But yeah, I mean, very early safety car there. Unfortunate for Jonathan, because he was he didn't actually make qualifying on Friday. So he's barely had any time in his F1 car. And unfortunately for Jonathan, he's already out of the Grand Prix. I don't know if he made any collisions with any other drivers, or if it was just driver error into a turn. But yeah, unfortunately that's Jonathan. And we got Smits there, taking a little bit of a risk there, but... I don't know. Is he going onto the hard tyres till the end of the Grand Prix? It's definitely an option. It is definitely an option. Fernando, good to see you. Jonathan, he's sitting in the middle of the track, can't avoid it. What's the Mercedes doing? Well, Andrew. Well, I could say there's going to be driver on boards and stewards. We've got our own, like, it sounds crazy, but we've got our own kind of like stewards. Oh wow, what a camera. Yeah, we've got ways that you can obviously post clips and get stuff reviewed and stuff like that. So if there's anything crazy happening, then get it submitted, and we'll have a little investigation, have a little look into it. Dommy, hello, welcome. Streaming on the wrong channel tonight because I woke up at 6 a.m. and I forgot, but we've got a comfortable 50 people here, which is actually amazing. So pleasure if you are just running in the background, you are just listening in. I appreciate all of you lurkers out there. I forgot to change the stream key this evening. This is normally being streamed on the Kenco F1 channel, but there's me pressing go live and I forgot to change the stream key. But there we go. I made the mistake to learn from it, I guess. But yeah, now we've got the safety car out. Then obviously we're going to get 2 free slow laps around Abu Dhabi. And yeah, I mean, there's not really obviously too much change in the grid order as at the moment it stands. I mean, I'm kind of shocked at Joe Bean there. He's kind of a really fast, good sort of driver at qualifying, but in the race he seems to sort of pull back a little bit here, as it looks like potentially is that Max Chapman going pits? No. Maybe he was trying to fool somebody to go into them. However, that is Finley. Nope. The drivers are looking like they're going in the pits, but they're just taking a really strange line coming down the main straight here. Lurkers, Hayden, 100%. I appreciate all of the pro streamer. It's what you get for waking up at 5:45 in the morning for a Grand Prix that's red flag for 2 hours. But hey, my parents laughed at me a lot for that, but it is what it is, really. But there we go. Is he allowed to cross the pit line? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are under a safety car. It's during the race. I'm pretty sure they have to go around it, so it should be fine. But yeah, I mean, I love this track as well. I mean, the fact that it's midnight, the way that this game works as well with the graphics, all the bright white, you know, reflecting off all of these cars looks incredible. I mean, no one... So like I say, unfortunate for Jonathan, we've got Andrew as well. Potentially there was maybe even damage on Andrew's car in his Mercedes down into P17. It's unfortunate as well. It's very rare. Obviously, we're seeing both the Red Bulls here. The Red Bulls haven't had the best start of the season, unfortunately. I mean, we saw Alex Peak lead the Belgium Grand Prix last week. Look at that reflection. I think that's just bad graphics, to be honest. No, they're getting in focus. But yeah, unfortunately, that is Red Bull at the back of the pack. I don't know if the safety cars might be going around another lap, because Andrew hasn't actually caught up with the safety car queue, but he won't have a Delta, so he can go full power. But it doesn't look like he is, unless he does have a Delta. He's still burning up and getting heat in those tyres, but I'm pretty sure he needs to join the back of the safety car queue as quick as he sure can. No Lumia. No, Aaron, mate. Not for this stream, unfortunately. Will, hello, mate. Welcome. You're joining the stream that shouldn't be on this channel, but it is because I forgot. But there we go. Welcome in, Will. Hopefully you're well. Thank you for the invite as well the other day. I appreciate that a lot. Hopefully we'll get something sorted very, very soon. Is the safety car coming in? I think it might be going for another lap. Never mind. Max Chapman's tyres currently on 12, 13, 14% on the rear right-hand side. Also, I'd like to point out as well, I told the drivers before we went live today that basically the last 2 laps, they've been going side by side, wheel by wheel under the safety car. I'm hoping they all go single fly. However, there's a massive queue here. I don't know what they're piling up for, but there's a massive queue. Hang on, has the safety car gone in? I love this information. The safety car has actually gone in, which is why they were slowing down. And the track's on green again. I didn't see any sort of FIA message, but hey ho, it's fine. So yeah, the race has resumed then. I thought we were going around again, but maybe not. There's a Haas though of Aaron, unfortunately, that has spun around. And he is drifting that off. He has unfortunately lost so many places there, that Haas of Aaron. And he's probably had one of the worst starts there on the grid, dropping back loads and loads of positions down to P16. Not the safety car restart he would have wanted, but Max Chapman still continues out there on first place at the moment, followed by Sebastian 1.2 seconds behind, followed by Finley, followed by Charlie, who's managed to get in front of Joe Bean on the safety car restart. Adam Forbes back P6. Dylan Hartley's pretty sure stayed a comfortable P7 actually. Yeah, Dylan Hartley stayed a P7, but unfortunately that is Aaron down 7 places from where he started. And Torben shot actually up 2 or 3 places, I believe. Yeah, two places there for Torben, so good. Codemasters, yeah, I know. I'd love to get the information for the FIA when their safety car's coming in, but there's only so many graphics that I suppose can be played. As Jonathan there leaves the session. We got a few maybe action going in the middle of the grid here. We've just seen Callum McGrath make a move on Dylan Hartley. And we might have to be an Alfa Romeo potentially swap here with Archie behind the Alfa Romeo of his teammate Dylan Hartley. Who just got overtaken by the Williams. Again, Callum McGrath, he's gone up the most places at the moment. He's my driver of the day, although it's way too early to call that. But yeah, he's currently up into P7 as all the drivers come down into Turn 1. Again, Turn 2, Turn 3, Turn 4 is very, very tricky on this track. We'll ride on board here with Callum McGrath. I mean, as we see, the rear can be so pulled sort of really left, really far right if the drivers don't keep it on the tarmac. I mean, I don't know if the ERS is showing properly here, but Callum McGrath has 0% ERS, which I don't know if that's correct or not, but that is not great to have 6 laps going on to the Grand Prix, as that should be pretty much regaining itself as he's braking heavily for the corners. DRS has not been actually resumed yet either. We've got to wait, I think, 2 laps after the safety car for DRS to be reopened again. But all the drivers very, very close to each other here. There's a little bit of a gap forming there between James Wilson in his Aston Martin and Jay Robinson in P12. But we are still seeing potentially a move here. On the outside, we're seeing them come down. Joe Bean here. Sorry, I'm on the wrong person here. There you go. Joe Bean and Torben fighting it out here. Lap 6, coming into turn 12. Who is going to get out of the corner at the moment? Torben is defending. And all this time, Joe Bean is gaining as much time as he can. Down through turn 15, turn 16. He goes on the inside line. Potentially even pushes off the Ferrari. I'm not even too sure if that was a move clean. I presume it was. But Charlie there conceding a position down into P5. He's going to probably try and get some more back heat in those tyres again and try and push for another move there on Joe Bean. But he has unfortunately been released. And he is on his way, hopefully, to make up a few more positions. But yeah. There we go. Not too bad. Very good. Thanks. Having to run some newbies through Phasma. Oh, brilliant. Well, it sounds good, mate. It sounds very good fun. Maybe you'll have to give me a tutorial as well, because it's been about a year since I've last played it, but should be alright. Should be alright. Yeah, about a second gap. Obviously, we are seeing Josh O'Mara. Josh O'Mara is a pretty good driver in this league. Down into P10 at the moment. He's got 2 Alphas and a Williams to get through if he even wants a chance at getting some really good points. Again, we're really early in the race. We're lap 7 of lap 29. I'm not too sure if obviously when we will be starting to see sort of, pit stops, tyre change strategies. I'm thinking maybe about sort of lap 13, lap 14 of this Grand Prix. We'll see them change onto the hard tyres. There might be some people doing 2-stop strategy, medium, soft, soft. Or medium, soft, medium. Not sure if that will quite stretch yet. But yeah, I mean, so far so good. Joe Bean's got a 2.4 second deficit difference between himself and Finley, and Sebastian's keeping up with Max Chapman actually. 1.7, just gone down to 2.3 seconds there. Max Chapman stealing, or keeping, I suppose, the fastest lap of the Grand Prix as it currently stands. But yeah, I just need a break for a minute. But look at this Marina Bay though. Look at this circuit. What amazing views we're having as well here. This camera view is awesome. I'd love to go here in real life. I'm not going to lie. Out of all the Grand Prix, I mean, normally, obviously, this is normally the last round of the real F1 calendar here. But it is so good to see just, the track lit up at midnight and just, illuminated modern lights. It is absolutely incredible. But yeah, there you go. Josh losing 2 positions at the moment. Obviously, at the start of the Grand Prix, he's going to be getting his foot down, wanting to try and get through as much as he can. Again, you know, anything can happen in a Grand Prix. We can have safety cars. We have virtual safety cars. A driver could spin at any point and cause a yellow flag, and, you know, anything could possibly happen. So all these drivers, you know, some of them will be wanting another safety car. Some of them might not be. But yeah, as it currently stands, we've had 1 safety car, and we've also got Finley with the DRS flap wide open here. Potentially thinking about making a move on Sebastian. I don't know if he's close enough. Sebastian does have the very good inside line, though, coming into this chicane. Turn 9, turn 10. But Finley might get a better exit here. It doesn't look like he's had the best exit. Sebastian did have the better one out of there. But Finley does have the DRS flap open, and he is using as much of that overtake as he possibly can. Down the inside of turn 12 here. Keeping it nice and wide. Does that give Sebastian potentially a move down the inside? Let's find out. Always taking a little bit of oversteer here. And Sebastian is still on the outside, keeping there with Finley. Side by side, wheel by wheel. This is the kind of racing we like to see in Kenco F1. And yeah, Sebastian's not giving up that place whatsoever easily. However, it might have to give it up a little bit here as we come to the end of lap 8. Finley up to P2 position here. Sebastian conceding his P2. Again, Sebastian started P4, so maybe he won't be too happy with that move, but he can certainly get that back. He's still up a few positions from where he started, with Joe Bean closing in on these two as they're fighting it out, losing a little bit of time. And we're getting a little bit of a glitchy game here, but it should hopefully resume itself, hopefully. If I get a spare ticket for this track, do you want me to tap? Yes, Hassan, please do. Send me as many tickets as you can to any Grand Prix you can get your hands on, and 100%. I have never been to a Grand Prix in my life, but oh my gosh, I would love to. Any Grand Prix I can get my hands on, for sure. For sure. If we move ourselves down to the grid, though, down to P8 here, Dylan Hartley is only 8 tenths behind his teammate. However, only behind himself is Archie Middlefell, 3 tenths behind. The DRS is open, and the Williams does not have the DRS of Callum McGrath. But as also behind, you can see the Alfa Romeo potentially thinking about making a move on the Ferrari. And but even behind that, we had Jay Robinson making a move there on the Alfa Tauri. There we go, going into the chicane, turn 9. Jay Robinson able to get that move. Potentially done. He's gone wide, though. And that has allowed Zach Plant to improve and gain that position back from... this fight's not over, I'll tell you that. This fight is not over here. Jay Robinson, at the moment, only 6% ERS. And his tyre wear is not looking great. But nor has Zach Plant either, as we're still seeing Finley and Sebastian up front also fighting out at the moment. But yeah, Jay Robinson, I don't know if he's even got enough ERS. He might have to go around again, build up a little bit more ERS. Oh wow, the desync, that looks scary. Build up a bit more ERS and then go again for Zach Plant. But we are still seeing Max Chapman P1, and then we've got Finley down through David Bean. Torben, Adam Forbes, Callum McGrath, Dylan Hartley, Josh O'Mara making a position there on the Alfa Romeo. And look at that Ferrari just spinning in the rear there, managing to catch the drift. But look how close Jay Robinson is now to the back of that Alfa Tauri. That's got to be within sort of 200ths of a second as they come through turn 3, turn 4, and then down to the newly changed turn 5 here. As he needs to get closer. He certainly will, though. He's going to have DRS down this straight. Zach Plant is not going to have DRS. This is Jay's opportunity here. He's burning up a tiny bit of DRS. He's going to potentially burn that last sort of 2, 3, 4% he's got down 10% there. But again, he's not. I don't believe he's close enough here. He was thinking about it, but he had to get on the brakes early. Otherwise, he is going straight ahead, and that will lose him very, very valuable time. But we might have to come back to Jay in just a few more laps, and he might be ever so closer to Zach Plant. We are seeing also the Alfa Romeos here switch. Don't know if that's a race strategy, but they've almost gone 3 wide there with Callum. As it looks like the Alfa Romeos might actually be racing each other. It doesn't look like there's any team orders of swapping cars there, but Dylan Hartley there, keeping off Archie Middlefeld and Callum McGrath at bay, coming under the bridge. I believe it's a hotel. I'm not too sure what that building is, but I would presume it's sort of some kind of really sort of 7-star hotel or something here at Abu Dhabi. I'm sure some of the drivers will be staying at that overnight. I'm not even too sure. It is a hotel. There you go. Confirmed by chat as well. And there you go. 4 abreast at the moment. Coming down into turn 1. Dylan Hartley, Archie Middlefeld, Callum McGrath at set of bay. Maybe potentially trying, you know, all this time. I mean, is Josh O'Mara... I can't say he's slowing down the pack because he's definitely not doing that. But the DRS is definitely going to be wide open here on Dylan Hartley. And yeah, I mean, there's now a 6-second lead for Max Chapman in the lead of this Grand Prix. We'll ride on board once again with Dylan Hartley here. We'll get the live speed, we'll get the HUD on, and we'll see if he can make a move here. on the potential inside. If Josh was smart, he would go on the inside, but he hasn't actually defended whatsoever there on the inside, but he has got some more speed in this corner as Dylan Hartley almost... I don't know if they actually touch wheels there, but Josh done a very good defense there on Dylan Hartley and stopping him from overtaking, but Dylan's got another DRS straight here to make up, and he's got a lot more speed here, but is it enough speed to make a move into turn 11? They're going to go side by side here. We'll go on the outside view as well. It's 3 wide. Both the Alfa Romeos. Josh, you can't get done by 2 Alfa Romeos in the same part of the track. No. He's not giving up. He's got a much better line there through turn 17. Oh, he's been spun round though. I don't know if that was contact made by one of the Alfa Romeos, but that was a Williams and Alfa Romeo. Had to avoid action there as Josh Imura has unfortunately lost a few places there. He's got going again. But, yeah, that will definitely be something investigated after the session by our stewards. And all this time I've been talking, Joe Bean has gained loads and loads of time here on Sebastian David. He is only now 4 tenths behind this little pack here of the Haas and the Aston Martin, as Archie Middlefelt and Callum McGrath also pit, potentially with damage. I don't believe they've got damage, but these are our first 2 drivers into the pits. Lap 12. Out for the softs, in for the hard tyres there, as Callum McGrath there. 4, 5... I don't know why that time is still going up. 11.1 seconds in total as the Alfa Romeo only just squeezed in front. There you go. Look at the tunnel exit on this track as well. Amazing pit exit here. One that you don't normally see on an F1 track. But they're both leaving the pits, along with Alex Peake in his Red Bull leaving the pits. And that's also Jay Robinson, obviously making up a place there from Josh Imura spinning or getting spun. And yeah, Jay Robinson currently in the points, P2 as it stands for him. And they're looking down the grid. We've got Aaron, who's unfortunately obviously had the bad safety car restart down into P11 at the moment. He's currently got a steward's warning. I don't know if that's for tracking, for cutting the track or something like that. But yeah, Aaron obviously at the moment the only driver to not pit, and he is at the sort of the back of the grid at the moment as things stand. But he is really close behind Josh Imura. And yeah, I mean, everyone pretty much P10 and relative above has not pitted for any type of tyres yet. We probably will start seeing some pits soon, though, as it looks like Joe Bean, there you go, that's why. The Haas of Finley and Sebastian David have gone into the pits on lap 13, allowing Joe Bean up to P2 to potentially gain a little bit more time here on Max Chapman. However, is that a Mercedes there? I believe this might be the first blue flagged car, actually, we've seen. There is a Mercedes here in front of Joe Bean, who I believe, as James the Aston Martin has retired from the session, causing a second safety car. I'm so sorry I don't catch this on camera, but it's so difficult when there's only one of me and there's no, normally we've got another commentator up in the box, but that is a second safety car deployed. This is going to really, really help those drivers who did not pit. So that's going to help Joe Bean. That's going to help Max Chapman. That's going to help Torben. That's going to help Adam. Jay Robinson up to P5. This could work out really well for the Alpine boys, as well as the Haas as well. But yeah, I mean, that's brilliant for the drivers who didn't pit personally. Yeah, wow, all of those drivers on the medium tyre as it stands have not pitted, but they're going to get a cheap stop. I believe it shaves off maybe 10 seconds, the safety car. They're currently on 12 lap old tyres, but they're going to come in for those hard tyres under the safety car, and if they don't, then I don't have a clue what strategy they're running. But that's commiserations there for James Wilson, the second retirement of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, round 3 here of 10. And yeah, that's unfortunately the Aston Martin out of this Grand Prix. It doesn't look like he made a collision with anybody, but he is unfortunately out of this Grand Prix. This will also allow Andrew and his Mercedes down into P16 manage to catch up with the rest of the grid. Max Chapman's not going to be too best pleased with his safety car. He wouldn't have wanted a safety car. He is coming into the pits though. But yeah, I don't believe Max Chapman would have wanted a safety car. He was sort of, a comfortable 6-7 seconds ahead in the lead there. And the last thing Max Chapman probably would have wanted was a second safety car there. But hey, that's racing, and that's what we have here as Joe Bean also comes into the pits. I told you everyone was coming in. The pit lane has got very, very busy here as we've got McLarens, we've got Ferraris, we've got Alpines coming into the pits, all going for that hard, the medium hard tyre, medium to hard strategy. Onto the hard tyre as Jay Robinson also pits. Well, it'll be interesting as well to see where sort of, where Jay Robinson, where Adam Forbes and things gets out of the pits. Are they going to be in front of these drivers? Are they going to be behind them? I'm not too sure, but that's Max Chapman in P1, and Joe Bean by staying out there, he has managed to get past the Haas of Finley and the Aston Martin of Sebastian there. So that safety car worked very much in Joe Bean's favour here, as he's now up into pole position, P2, sorry. I'm losing my words, and we're seeing all the positions gained and lost. That's Zach Plant there, started at the back of the grid. He had a Parc Ferme change from not putting his setup on in qualifying, and he's obviously took a little penalty there back of the grid, P18. He's now up to P9 relative. And yeah, Max Chapman leading the Grand Prix, followed by Joe Bean, followed by Finley, followed by Sebastian. This is going to be a good safety car restart. It'll be nice if the actual game tells me when the safety car's coming in this time around, but we'll have a little look. I hate the hards. Yeah, it's I think the hards are a good tyre around here, but when they start sort of getting beyond, I would say sort of 40% around here, they can be an awful, awful tyre, but we'll see how the drivers like them. I mean, obviously when they're driving around the safety car, they're not really going to be using up much of this tyre deg, but it's obviously when we get racing again, the tyre wear will get a lot more. Obviously there you go, 2% tyre wear for Joe Bean there. Not much whatsoever, but we look back in that in maybe sort of 5-10 laps, you know, 20 lap 24, lap 25, that's going to be more like 35-40%, which is where the, you know, the lap times start dropping a lot. But then by then they'll have less fuel in the car, so it's all relative. Is the safety car coming in? I believe we're going around once more. We certainly are. Anyone else being taken out twice, Josh? Twice? I've only seen one of them, but I must have missed the other one. 15 laps to go at this Grand Prix. We've currently led quite a few safety cars. I mean, it's packing up, you know, it's getting the grid back up again. But there we go. We're going to go around again. Thank you as well. I'd just like to say, obviously, everyone tuning in the background, there's 50 viewers. Just, you know, for your information, if you are obviously just popping in, I wasn't meant to go live on this channel. This wasn't actually meant to happen. And apologies, there's no alerts or any of that kind of jazz. I was meant to go live on my other channel, but, you know, I'm a very tired person waking up really early this morning, and I forgot to change the stream. But it's fine. It's a one-off. I'm sure you guys won't mind, you know. But all of the other streams will be done on the Kenco F1 channel on Twitch. Rather than this one, but hopefully this will be a safety car coming in this lap. But yeah, massive shout out to you guys just chilling in the background. I appreciate all of you lurkers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. When did you realise you're on the wrong channel? When no one was putting anything in chat on the Kenco F1 channel, I loaded up the stream, and then I realised, well, offline. I was like, I was just questioning it. I was like, huh? It says I'm live, and then I was like, oh, hang on a minute, and I'm pretty sure the live notification said I was playing FIFA as well, which adds to the mystery, I suppose. It adds to the mystery, but there we go. You have to make the mistakes to learn from them. It's just I keep making them. I'm not learning. It's fine. We'll get there eventually. But yeah, as things stand then, as safety cars hopefully coming in this lap, we've got Chapman following Bean, following Finley, David, Torben, Adam, Hartley, McGrath, Plant, Middlefell, and then down after P10, who's currently out of the points. Joe Robinson, unfortunately, not really gaining much with their safety car there. Down into P11. Josh Amara at P12 after being spun out twice. Aaron in his house after not having the best safety car restart. And then they're both Red Bulls, P14, P14, P15, and Andrew not having his best qualifying session as of today. Down there in P16. Now, I'm hoping that the safety car is coming in this lap. Or if we're getting another lap, then it might be because Andrew hasn't caught up with the pack. Yeah, safety car's not coming in. Hello, Jack. Wrong channel alert, but it's fine. Around, we guess we go again, guys. It's a bit of deja vu here. Max Chapman, race story, started first, is continuing in first. There's a Haas. Finley, what's happened to Finley? No, not here, Finley. Not on a safety car restart. What are you doing? He's just lost so many places and he can't get them back. Oh, no. Wait, what's happening? Is the cars being told to let him past? I don't know. Finley! No. He's passing all the drivers. The game might be telling him to do that. I don't know what's happening with F1 when it does that, but he's down into P8. He was only P4 as well. It looked like he might have locked up and just gone straight ahead. I'm not sure what happened there, but commiserations there for Finley under a safety car, losing 4 places. I mean, that's a kind of a bit of a history there, but a record, I should say. But we are seeing all the drivers. Look how gorgeous this track is. They'll come into focus very soon, but maybe those tyres. I mean, he did change for tyres. Yeah, they're brand new tyres. Maybe he didn't warm them up enough. He's not warming them up. Look at all the other drivers warming them up. Finley's not warming them up. Get some tyre blankets on there. All this time, though, to be fair, Andrew's only 10 seconds behind the pack, so we'll get a lot less blue flags here. So this has definitely done something in favour. Finley Latifi. Uh-oh. You've already got a nickname, Finley. Oh. Nah, Goatifi is a goat, though. You can't go anything wrong with go Tiffy. Anyway, what I want to do, guys, here is focus on the McLaren here of Joe Bean and potentially even Sebastian in the Aston Martin. Obviously, this is for the lead of the race here. So Max Chapman is going to be getting the back of the grid, the whole grid, sorry, squashed up as much as he can here because the safety car is coming in. It's pulling away to go in the pit lane as Max Chapman's going to be slowing down the entire grid order here. And we'll have a little look as to see what Joe Bean can do as he approaches turn 19 into turn 20, and Max Chapman probably going to launch it down into turn 21, maybe a little bit before, but there's no overtaking to be done until the start to finish line. Max Chapman's gone early there, out of turn 20. Did he catch Joe Bean off guard there, or was Joe Bean on his alert? It definitely caught Sebastian off guard, though, because he's already a second behind Joe Bean. But Max Chapman, they're really good safety car restart as they enter turn 1. Joe Bean getting a little bit of a nicer line than Max Chapman there. But they're both very good drivers and they know their way around this track. Joe Bean's going to want to stay with Max Chapman as much as he can here, especially for the next 2 or 3 laps to get that DRS flap open and potentially get some racing and some overtakes for the lead of this Grand Prix. These tyres are very cold, but that's Sebastian now maybe 1.2 seconds behind. Yeah, you can see them leaving there. And there we go. The back of the grid hasn't really changed much. I'm pretty sure it's sort of a parade around for that safety car restart. But with lap 17 now, over halfway of this Grand Prix, out of lap 29, coming down through the turns. And Joe Bean much closer here to Max Chapman through the chicane. Come on, Sebi. Sebi can do it. He can easily get those 1.6 seconds back. I apologize about the game with the revving, by the way. Joe Bean on 66% ERS overtake. He's definitely got a lot to burn here. So he's been storing that here. And yeah, we'll have a little look, obviously, if he does go and use it yet, or if he's just, you know, keeping within distance of Max Chapman and then going to use it for maybe a lunge into one of the corners on the end of one of the DRS straights. There's sort of 2 or 3 overtaking places here at Abu Dhabi. And yeah, definitely the end of the DRS straight's one of the ones that I would certainly choose. But yeah, it'll be very interesting to see if there is a move done very, very soon. Sebastian 1.8 seconds now behind Joe Bean, followed by Torben, followed by Adam Forbes there in a comfortable P5. Unfortunately losing 2 positions from where he started on the grid, but he has indeed kept his front wing this time round. And hopefully we haven't just tempted fate there. I'm sure he'll keep it. Joe Bean going a little bit wide there, though, through turn 1. Obviously, that's going to slow him down a little bit, going over that sort of tarmac, as he's lost a little bit. But the DRS, I don't believe, will be activated this lap. It should be on the next one. But yeah, there you go. Comfortable grid so far. Andrew's actually made a position up there on Smits down at the back. P15, P16 there. For Andrew, so he's having a little bit of racing at the back as well. Good to see for Andrew. Obviously Andrew oh no, he's just lost it again. Andrew's Taylor's step-in driver for today, so this isn't a normal occurrence for Andrew, but I mean, he's trying his best, and it's good to see him having a little bit of a racing and a little bit of fun at the back of the grid, and still going strong, which we like to see. 11 laps left with this Grand Prix. Look, they're still fighting. Should we go and have a look at them? I feel like we haven't really looked at these 2 drivers, as they are they're coming through the DRS straight here, but there is no DRS, like I've said already. They're going side by side. It'll be interesting to see how Andrew takes this corner on, as he is actually leading just ahead of Smits here. Potentially, he's going the wide way around, but will he have a better exit? You do get more speed here as well. On some of the wider turns. They do take wide lines, but these 2 drivers having a little bit of fun at the back of the grid here. It's good to certainly see this, as Andrew pulls out in front of Smits here, P16, through turn 19, and again, we might see another move coming down to turn 1 as Smits hopefully prepares to get even closer to the rear end of that Mercedes into turn 1, as we've got Callum, who's just retired from the session, and that's cool. Oh no. No, you're kidding. Oh, as a commentator, I shouldn't be saying that, but I am. Here we go again. Safety car number 3. Could it not have been a virtual safety car? We've got safety car on standard. Like, these drivers have only just got racing in. They barely even got the DRS out. Commiserations to Callum, though, in that Williams. As we go again, 3-4 laps of safety car. Yay. You can tell my excitement on stream. Well, this hopefully better be the last safety car we see of this Grand Prix. I definitely want to see it gone forever. I guess we're going around again. All the drivers slowing down very, very much so here for another 2 or 3 laps of slow racing. Will we get any drivers into the pit lane? 10 laps left. I think they'll be silly if they do, because the grid's crept up a lot and it's got really tight. And even if they went into the pit lane, nobody else did, they'll be losing a lot of track position and they're going to have to regain a lot of places. So I don't think we'll be seeing any drivers coming to the pits. But I could be wrong, but I don't think it will happen. Oh, very, very sneakily done there. Ow. I just got an electric shock. Ow. 10 laps to go, of which some of them will be done under the safety car. These drivers must be bored of this by now. Never mind. I was hoping to get some racing. I guess this is kind of like, you know, a bit of foreshadowing. Not foreshadowing. What's the opposite of foreshadowing? We're repeating the Japanese Grand Prix. But this time the cars are just going around the track rather than stuck in the pit lane on a red flag. And it's not raining. But, yeah, we've actually got both Haas's and both Red Bulls in the pit lane here. And they're double stacking at Haas. They're going onto the soft tyre. So maybe the hard one just isn't working out for them. Soft tyre for 10 laps. All the other cars from P1 down to P11, sorry, are on the hard compound. And it looks like we've got all these drivers below going on the soft tyre. Trying a different strategy here. Could work out for them. Certainly so if there is another safety car. But, yeah, sorry if I missed any messages in chat as well, guys. It just says welcome to the chat room, so I think I've been disconnected from it. But yeah, safety car number 3 here at Abu Dhabi nonetheless. We've got Finley, who started a train of 4 cars pitting there. We've still got Max Chapman in the lead of the Grand Prix, followed by Jobin, followed by Sebastian, and followed by Torben. And by the way, just a little note, if you guys don't know who Torben is, he is racing in VR today. He's been racing in VR actually the entire league. He is sat in his little cockpit with his Oculus Quest on, or whichever VR headset he has. He has no HUD or anything like that. And he's just, you know, taking the race as he comes, seeing it as it goes. Obviously, it's a new feature here for F1 22 as well. He had a really nasty spin in qualifying as well, and he said it didn't make him feel sick. But if I crashed an F1 car in VR, I would definitely, you know, my tummy would turn a little bit, but it didn't affect him. So he's a strong driver. But yeah, once again, obviously commiserations to the 3 DNF drivers here at Abu Dhabi, causing a safety car, each of them to their name. We've got Jonathan, James Wilson and Callum McGrath all causing a safety car here. I don't know what the FIA were thinking, whether or not, you know, a virtual safety car might have been called on one of those, or if a safety car was really necessary. I would obviously... Oh, wow, a Mercedes going very wide there. As we've got the another Haas here, Finley going back in the pits. What's he up to then? He's on the medium tyres. Is he doing a... This is interesting. He's double pitted. This is his 3rd pit stop. He's going on to the soft. So whether or not... I don't know if he did pit. I'm pretty... There was a double stack Haas, wasn't there? There was a double stacked... Ah, he's getting a change of a front wing as well. That would explain it. That would explain it. Callum didn't spin. It was more like squished. Uh-oh. I'm sure we can have a look at all the clips later on in the evening. But yeah, Finley, how many can we have a look at how many pit stops these drivers have done? That's tyre age, tyre changes, yeah. So everyone who's gone to the pits sort of below lap 10 has lost a lot of track position here, as hopefully this is the last lap of the safety car before we get racing again. But yeah, thank you to everyone again that's just tuning in the background. I'm sorry it's just me in the commentating box or whatever you call this thing. But hopefully you're somewhat enjoying whatever I'm doing. I don't really know whether to call this commentating or not, but I'm having a good time, so hopefully you guys are as well. Kenco switches camera every 2 seconds. I'll try and do it a little bit less if I can. I'm sorry. But it's multitasking is what it is. It's multitasking. Your bedroom, what did I say? Oh wow, Zach Plant's up 10 places. Go on. Zach Plant having an amazing drive today. From P18, back of the grid, up to P8. He's already sealed himself 2 points today. Could he seal himself some more? There's only one way to find out, I guess. Oh, your bedroom being the commentary box. Ah. Yeah. That's right. Is the safety car? Yes, the safety car's coming in. Right, okay. We'll ride on board with Sebi this time instead of Joe Bean, and we'll have a little look to see the 2 drivers in front. We'll see if they make any moves. Max Chapman really sliding the pack down, wanting to get those heat in those tyres as he possibly can. Sebastian again not having the best start here, unfortunately. As I've just pressed the wrong button here. My apologies, but as we come down into turn 1, Max Chapman indeed does lead. We've got a bit deja vu here. These tyres are not warm by any people's standards here. Max Chapman in the lead of the Grand Prix, 16% tyre wear. Joe Bean in P2, 19% tyre wear. So Joe Bean's tyres are absolutely shredding. And to be honest, they both went in on the same lap. So whether or not because Joe Bean's been behind Max Chapman, he's getting a lot more deg out of these tyres. And they are depreciating very, very quickly. But we've got 7 laps left. And I'm pretty sure his tyres will last all 7 laps of those, in those tyres nonetheless. Ian on Def, I'll commentate. Let's do it, Callum. Bear with me. We might have a commentator here. I don't know. Callum McGrath. Hello, buddy. Are you here? Hopefully. I don't know. He might be here. He might not. But we, I've just... Oh, hang on. Hello? I can't turn you up. All right, I've turned you up. It's calm. First and foremost, before we get commentating, I mean, you got squashed. I don't know if now's the time to talk about that or we should do it after the race.
Yeah, we can do it after the race.
Oh my God.
We've got Joe Bean chasing Max Chapman. Sorry for the ear rape, everybody.
It's all right. It's my fault.
Joe Bean is chasing Max Chapman. This is imperative in these late stages of the Grand Prix, especially where they both have equal tyre performance. It is imperative that he gets ahead first or uses the DRS to pull him along till the last kind of laps.
Yeah, again, obviously Max Chapman hasn't actually...
Oh, there's a spin. There's a spin rear in the grid. Jay Robinson and Finzo come together.
Oh,
and
wow.
That plays massively into the
Josh.
hands of Alex.
Oh my God, he's reversing into him.
There's a massive crash in that final sector. All those drivers should be wary. That's exactly where Nicholas Latifi crashed in 2021 and gave Max Verstappen that world title. This has changed the outcome of this race significantly.
Yeah.
As I think Speedy Joe set the fastest lap by quite some margin as well.
100%. I wasn't expecting that. I'm glad you noticed that because I was drifting off into the distance. But yeah, Josh Amaro, that's like the 3rd spin he's had. I believe he got caught up there with Jay Robinson, whether or not Joey Robinson just lost his tyres there. But I believe they could have been in for some points there, both of these drivers. Sorry, is that... No, Josh Amaro we're looking at here.
Yeah, I've just been on board with Finley. He's launched a beautiful move into the chicane, or should I say the hairpin that used to be a chicane, but Alex Peake is looking to fight it around the outside. He's going to try to squeeze him to the outside of the track. Is the back cut for Alex Peake. He's going to try it down the straight. There is DRS here, so maybe that's what he's looking for.
Certainly so. Bear with me 1 second. I'm just going to quickly change the sound of the game so you're not too loud. There we go. Perfect. But yeah, we're seeing a move as well of the Haas of Aaron here. That's both Haas's that's overtaken, I believe, Peake here. Coming through turn 12, 13 and 14. Yeah, Peake unfortunately losing out there, but again, he's got every potential here to open the DRS on the next lap. And so it's like there's like 5 drivers here fighting for these point positions.
Corner by... Oh, and Finley's had a massive snap of oversteer there coming through that final corner, much in the same way as Nicholas Latifi. Max answers with a 126.8. Hey. Every corner that passes, Archie seems more and more vulnerable. There's a train of about 5 cars behind him, and every single one of them are going to have DRS. Archie is possibly the worst position in this Grand Prix of any driver.
Yeah, certainly so. Obviously, Archie's, you know, he's got clean track, but he hasn't got the pace, and all these drivers behind him are going to want to try and get past him. I believe DRS is open again on this lap 24, lap 29.
He's going to launch a move down the inside. It's a beautiful move. Late on the brakes, down the inside. Plant's going to fight it around the outside.
Oh, they've collided.
No space, and they come together. Has and Zach Plant come together. That's a shame, but Finley's now going to launch an attack on Archie.
Oh, Zach had such a good sort of race so far as well from P18.
Yeah, look at Finley.
But I can't because there we go.
And they've touched. There's a spin. Archie and Finley have spun, and that through goes Alex Peake into the lead of this little train. But they're so far back. They've lost so much time in this train.
Yeah.
There's no way they're going to be able to.
That's a 5-second deficit now.
And what's Finley doing?
Yeah.
He's massively late on the brakes, and there's a 3-way battle coming into the chicane.
My God.
Finley with a move down the inside. Very strong.
I want to go off this. Go ahead.
Very strong and very decisive there from the Haas. That's going to seal his position at the start of the Grand Prix, but he's coming up to the DRS zone. He is going to be vulnerable.
This race has absolutely spiced up the last few laps after these 3 safety cars. I'm not going to lie, Archie Middelfeld losing up some positions there and just absolute mayhem happening in the track. We've got Josh Amura only 2 places away from potentially getting points, but this has really allowed those soft runners to get up a lot of places here on this safety car restart. Finley up to P7. Alex Peake, both the Red Bulls are actually in the points today, and they both started really down the back of the grid. But yeah, I mean, brilliant racing, but also kind of bumper cars, I'm not going to lie.
Well, Bomzai does seem to have a 5-second time penalty, which would bring him out. There is a yellow flag in Sector 3. Is that one of the Haas drivers again, perhaps?
It might be Aaron there. He's just dived into the pit lane. So maybe there was late sort of drama there with himself and Joe Robinson, who's leading the back of the grid at the moment. Obviously, Aaron with the pits changing tyres, as we got Andrew and Joe Robinson fighting out here. As we got Aaron retired. I believe he retired in the pits there.
Yeah, I believe so. Looking further up the grid, Charlie and Adam really close together. Could a move be made down that back straight? Adam's teammate, Andrew, looking for a move for the last points position. Sorry, not the last points position, the last position in the race. Doesn't look like it's meant to be for them. That yellow flag is still there in Sector 3. That could impede a couple drivers, but Charlie only 2/10 behind Adam.
Yeah, again, Adam Forbes, I mean, making that move there on Charlie, I believe that was done a few laps ago. Really, really good for Adam. Obviously, he's going to want to be defending, especially for the next 4 laps, if he so can. However, hopefully there's not going to be too much of a snake following him. But yeah, Adam Forbes starting the race in P3, and he's managed to actually keep it this Grand Prix, so he'll be really chuffed with himself. But again, he just needs to keep it for the next few laps.
If we go on board with Dylan Hartley, it'll be a really good insight into how loose the rear of Torben Schutt is going to be, and he has no perspective of how difficult it is because he is in that VR. He doesn't see how much width on the outside of the track he has. You see, pinned throttle through there. Dylan, 20% ERS. He could launch a move down the inside. It doesn't seem quite likely here. Braking at the 75-meter board. He's in that steering lock-in. Charlie with a really nice exit. It looked like he might get Adam down the straight. That DRS will help him 14 kilometers extra. Just depends on his ERS situation.
Certainly so. If we have a look at the tyres here of Dylan, they are 40%. I mean, they will survive another 3 laps, but they're not going to be nice tyres to sort of race on and make overtakes. But again, those tyres is much the same for everybody else in front of him as well.
Also, while C3 drivers are fighting in that train, Finlay has closed the gap. It's only a second behind from Dylan now. Yeah. Remember what happened last time a Haas and an Alfa Romeo came together?
No.
Archie? It caused a massive
gap. Yeah, that happened.
Could be interesting.
Short-term memory.
Finlay seems super hyper-aggressive this race. For no particular reason, he's risking all of the points. But, you know, that's what you got to do when you've done that gamble onto those soft tyres. You've got to try and make that count. But I'm just on board with him now. He's gaining slowly and surely. Oh,
is that Torben going round? That corner is awful. I'm not going to lie. You can lose the rear so much in there. But that's absolutely devastating for Charlie, as he might lose a place to Alex Peak as well. I think Alex
Finlay didn't lift through the yellow flags. More importantly, Finlay didn't lift through the yellow flags, so it is not Charlie's end of the race. If he gets within 5 seconds, there could be a penalty distributed to him.
Certainly so. Every second counts, especially if there's penalties being handed out, as we've got Alex Peak here on the rear end of Torben. I don't know if Alex Peak's got enough momentum or even enough ERS to make this overtake. He's got 24% ERS. There is a steward's warning that's been given, potentially for Finlay not slowing down on the yellow flags there, but Finlay's managed to steal the fastest lap time from, I believe that was Max Chapman or Joe Bean. But yeah, I mean, again, that fastest lap might be taken back as well. I'm not too sure.
His situation is dire. 8% ERS going down the back straight, 50% tyre wear. At the moment for Finlay, it's not about advancing forward. It's about keeping his own position. Luckily, Charlie's too far back, but he still looks to be on the offensive. Alex Peak making a move there on Torben Schutt, not to go ahead for that one. There is a DRS straight. I doubt that will work, but if we go on board with Dylan Hartley, he might want to launch one down the inside of Adam Forbes. Is the gap too large coming into that final little hairpin thing? No, it's not, but we did see a little bit of movement between Adam, Dylan and Finlay a few laps previous. Finlay getting really squibbly on that exit and chasing down Dylan. Once again, I'm really surprised Finlay going on the aggressive with 60% worn softs.
Yeah, I mean, 60. He's still got 2 more laps left. If we're going to have a little look with Finlay's tyres here, with the overlay, yeah, they're 50% worn already, and he's still got 2 and a bit laps left of these. So these soft tyres are not going to be nice to drive on, especially over the next few laps. And he's got 2 cars in front of him that he really wants to get in front of us. I mean, he's right on the rear end here of Dylan Hartley. But again, Dylan is he's got the pace, and he might have the extra tyres as well with his hard tyres. Coming through turn 1.
Flashbacks going into turn 1, getting flashbacks of earlier in the race where he pinched a Williams driver. I'm not too sure who that was, and almost ended his own race there. But he's going to probably make a move down the inside. There's a yellow flag in sector 3. Not too sure what that is, but Finlay thinks about it down the inside and commits to it. Dylan's late on the brakes, not too much on the power. He commits to the move, but oh, ever so close. Did they touch?
They've both got DRS flaps open, but Finlay has got so much more pace here coming down the straight. Before they make the turn, but at the moment, I believe that the Haas, is he clear of the Alpha?
This is not over. Dylan will fight this all the way down the straight. He's gone deep, so Dylan can open up the cutback. Is he going to do it? Is he going to get the move on? Jay with the fastest lap of a 126 flat. That's beautiful there
stealing it from Finley.
Stealing it from the Haas team. Indeed, that's absolutely what they want in this constructors fight. Meanwhile, Finley going deep has opened a gap for Dylan, but also is giving Adam the massive forward gap. I think Josh and Bomzai may have had a coming together. There's a yellow flag in the middle sector, and they are both moving back rearwards.
Yeah, potentially so. I mean, it looks like their front wings are okay here for themselves. But yeah, I mean, like you say, Adam Forbes, obviously, you know, he's got 4 seconds from himself and Sebastian, and we got 2-second lead there by Max Chapman, who's managed to gain it again with 1.5 laps left. But yeah,
he's got
Finley...
1 lap to defend against this Haas. He needs all or nothing. Haas has got 20% ERS, using it viciously down the straight. Adam with 30, he has that DRS to defend, but he's just got to remember there are 2 DRS zones. Don't get too aggressive in the first, because they'll come at you in the second. And
he's only got 1 chance left because we just entered the final lap of this Grand Prix. Max Chapman in the lead, followed by Joe Bean only 2.4 seconds behind, and then Sebastian at P3. And again, we're just looking here, P4, P5, P6 here. Adam Forbes got to really defend, and we got another DRS straight here coming up, Callum.
Yeah, looks almost certain that Max will win this race now, so no need to focus on those front runners. Sebi with an incredible drive, and Adam, again, just defending from Finley. This is that first DRS zone. The move hasn't even been made. Finley's gone deep, which gives Adam the opportunity. He has to use all the ERS down this back straight. There's nowhere else that Finley's going to be able to do it. But for now, Finley needs to dive late on the brakes, do what Lewis Hamilton couldn't in 2021.
Doesn't look like he's got enough momentum here. He might have another opportunity though, but we will have a little look at Max Chapman here as he comes through turn 13, 14, 15 and 16. He's led every single lap of this Grand Prix. Got a 3-second time penalty there for Josh. Not sure what that is all about. Maybe tyre corner cutting. However, Max Chapman enters the turn 21, lap 29 to win the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix 2022.
Finley's round, and he's got rid of Dylan. There's a massive crush in that final sector, especially exactly where Nicholas Latifi been in the wall. Finley and Dylan came together, and it was a huge snap of oversteer, and Finley should be really lucky to keep P5. That's
it's happening again. It's happening again.
It's happened again. No!
These tyres, they're destroyed. Look at Dylan's car in the middle of the track.
Josh has managed to somehow make his way back into the points after this.
That's now 5 retirements of this Grand Prix. We've got only 8 drivers have managed to cross the line at the moment. Smits, both of Red Bulls have got points. Dylan Hartley, though, retirement
Josh with a
on
point.
The last lap.
Yeah, Dylan seemed the bearer of bad fortune there. Finley hitting the rear and lighting it up, and Dylan trying to go past, and Finley swerving into him, just trying to get a hold of that oversteer. But yeah, unfortunate for Dylan. I'm not too sure what happened with Zach Peak.
I'm not too sure at all, but that I feel like there was a bit of oil or something on the track. There was like 2 or 3 drivers that spun around there.
I mean, it could have been it. I mean, there was a massive shunt into exactly when Latifi did it, so maybe there was oil or front wing or whatever. GL come home to take that final place in this Grand Prix. Max Chapman with a decisive victory.
100%. And yeah, like I say, Max Chapman pretty much, I mean, I want to just point out as well, obviously Zach's got the driver of the day here, P18 up to P9, but Adam Forbes, I mean, this track's for him, I'm not going to lie. He qualified P3 and he's finished the race in P4.
I mean, he obviously bared the fortune of Dylan is his name, and Finley coming together in that final couple turns, as did Charlie and Alex Peak, but nonetheless, brilliant drive from him. Yeah, he'll take that away from him.
Certainly so. He'll be very pleased with that. Obviously, that outcome, whether or not it was luck or not, I guess. I mean, that is racing at the end of the day. But 47 minutes, 58 seconds was where the, Max Chapman, the Alpine, crossed the line. And then we've got all the drivers' timings there. But yeah, we started the race with 18 drivers and we're ending with 13. Damn. That was an interesting last lap. I'm not going to lie.
And 4 of them were because of Finley.
I don't know. I'm not speculating anything yet. But we'll see.
Allegedly.
Yeah, exactly. We'll leave that to the stewards. But yeah, I mean, obviously you're one of those retirements, Callum. So not too good. But at the end, I mean, you caused a safety car. Was it safety car worthy? Is the first question I want to ask.
Yeah, definitely.
It was. Okay.
My car got disintegrated, basically.
Oh, okay. I mean, Abu Dhabi's, it's got runoff areas, but I feel like all the cars, whenever they crash, they stay on the track.
Right? So I was right on the apex of turn 1.
That's very true. Capum, thank you for your 9 months resub. What I'll do, I'll replay that alert when I can, buddy, when we're doing Flight Sim. I wasn't even meant to go live on this stream. I was meant to go live on my other channel, but me waking up at 6 a.m, I forgot to change the stream key. So we've gone live on this one. But Capum, thank you very much. There's no alert for it, buddy, but thank you for the 9 months of Twitch Prime. We'll go and have a little word with some of the drivers if we so can, and get their obviously take on the Grand Prix. And yeah, I don't know how we're going to do that, but what I'll do, if I put a message out in the general chat and then people react to it if they want to speak with us, and then we can obviously drag a few people and have a little word with them, speak with us. What you're seeing as well on the stream, this is the current, I don't know if you can really read it actually. What I might do is just change over to, bear with me, if I change over to that TV, there's the current driving standing. This is obviously not current after this Grand Prix because nothing's been obviously confirmed yet. But we are seeing obviously the Drivers' Championship and the Constructors' Championship at the end of Spa last week. We got Ferrari leading the Constructors and we got Max Chapman leading the Drivers. Obviously, all that's probably going to change at the end of this Grand Prix. But yeah, that's as things currently stand as well. Some of these drivers, we are going to have to change a few names as well. But yeah, also massive thank you. Obviously, we've got 50 odd people here as well that has watched the entire stream today. So thank you very much, everybody. I appreciate it very much. Sorry it's on this channel again. I keep apologizing, but hopefully you've enjoyed it, whatever it is. We are going to speak with, I mean, Callum, he's gone on mute now. I don't know if you want to help me interview these people or not.
Yeah, I can.
If you're, it's okay. We've got Archie, Joe, or Smits.
Bring Archie in here.
Should we bring
I can say
Archie
thank you for the
in here?
battles. Some pretty good battles with him.
He isn't. Oh, I can't drag. Hang on. Bear with me. Let's go back to this screen. I can't drag him because I can drag him, but my Discord needs to be really long.
Dragging him up to someone else's channel and then drag him from there.
There you go. Hopefully I haven't just ended half of Archie's conversation with Dylan.
No, Dylan was getting angry.
Oh, I wonder why.
He stormed off.
Oh.
Well, I think it's only fitting. Archie, good battles there today. Obviously, me, you, and Dylan fought very hard for that midfield points. How do you feel your race went today?
It was okay. It was not the cleanest driving out there from everyone. That was how you were on the receiving end of it, Callum. I got a bit of wing damage because I misjudged my braking into turn 12 and hit Josh. But I think I managed to sort of hold it together, keep out the worst of it, and then come home P7, which it's not great, but it's first points of the season, right? Yeah.
I must ask, did you see the disintegration of Williams?
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing, Finley. He was crashing into you, he crashed into me in the chicane. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that.
Obviously, the stewards will look at that. In terms of your teammate, what exactly happened there? We sort of caught the end of it, not on the stream, but myself, I was looking on board with Finley, and he definitely turned into Dylan, but I'm not too sure what happened there.
Yeah, no, he said Finley spun into him or something like that. I'm not quite sure, but
okay.
Yeah, I have to ask him.
In terms of strategy, did everything work out for you?
Yeah, it's a bit disappointing that we don't have more than like 2-3 sets. I would like to go on the mediums in that safety car, but
that's something I agree with.
I don't think anyone kind of went with their original strategy. Obviously, you know, they probably would have pitted potentially when the first safety car, or the second safety car came out. But I mean, were you medium hard tires? Because there were some drivers doing some really weird strategies.
Yeah, medium hard all the way.
Yeah.
I came in a bit early. I think it was lap 11, just like
one
lap before the
we
first
both pitted on
car.
the same lap, didn't we?
Yeah, I came in.
And we massively lost out because of the safety car.
Well, I panicked thinking I've got massive wing damage, even though it was just light. And then F1 being F1 didn't repair my front.
Didn't change it. Yeah.
No. Typical.
Anything to add, Ian?
I mean, first points, you've got to be happy with that. We aren't obviously racing next week, so it gives you a break. And then we're still undecided on what track we're going to do. But at least that one's out the way anyway. 7 more to go. Oh, God. We should be fine.
You mean we're undecided?
We might change it, potentially.
Imola?
Imola or Monza. We'll have a discussion. Yeah, that's the way most people are thinking.
No, you can't overtake it, Imola. There will be literally one overtake in the race.
You can send it into the little chicane at the top of the hill.
Well, the Della Rocha. No, that's bloody...
I always do that.
Over the curb, Leclerc moment.
Just fly past them.
Literally. Finley was doing that today.
Yeah. I did make air over one of the curbs. I think it's at like the turn 6-7 chicane. I made air today, but didn't damage my car, fortunately.
And when you get back down, tell Dylan thanks for the racing. Some really, really nice, fair racing from Dylan. So yeah, thanks for saying that for him.
Yeah, I'll let him know.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you, Archie.
Thank you, Archie.
Cheers.
I think a little bit of controversy is in order, Ian.
Yes.
In here.
He hasn't reacted, I do not believe.
At him. Ping him.
Joe would like to speak with us, Smits and Adam.
Who's Joe?
Sorry?
Who's Joe?
Who's Joe?
Joe Mama.
Oh, you got me. You got me. Brilliant. Speaking of Joe, hello. Good evening. I mean, well done.
I just say that joke was not funny.
Oh.
I did not laugh.
I apologize.
Yeah.
Someone followed because of that joke. Just saying.
Got to do what you got to do then. Okay.
Yeah, for real.
It's worth it, alright. It's worth it.
Yeah, alright.
Why, you've just been called the GOAT, Joe. How much, to what extent do you agree with the statement that you are the GOAT?
Is that via user PR6UD?
Yes,
yeah.
indeed it is. Indeed it is.
Well, you know, I just got to stay modest, you know. No, I'm joking, it's my cousin. He was my race engineer. He did a great job. Amazing job.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you didn't have the best sort of start, but the safety cars really helped your favour, and you managed to keep up with Max Chapman there, obviously, for the sort of, I guess, last quarter of the race. It was kind of safety car after safety car after safety car at one point. But yeah, obviously, dub for you, obviously P2. Was you obviously always going for P1 really, but could you keep up with Max Chapman's pace? Or, I mean, at one point you got the fastest lap, and then it was immediately responded to with Max's fastest lap.
Well, I think, nah, I don't think I could have kept up. I couldn't have gone quicker. He was, I don't know, he was on another level. You know, I kept up with him thereabouts for about 5 laps, and then after I was like, let's put things into perspective. You know, I've had a DNF P6. It's not worth it trying to, you know,
just bring
push
home
it. So yeah, just
P2.
yeah. There's like 7 laps left. I was like, I'll just bring it home in the end. You know, get a good result.
He did exactly that, and hopefully that's the start of something good going through the next races, and start building up those points that you potentially might have missed. I mean, you're currently P7 in the Drivers' Championship.
Oof. That's
Yeah.
harsh.
I don't quite know how that's happened, or if that's actually valid data, or I'll have to double check that.
I mean, my results haven't been, you know, the best. Could be true.
Potentially.
John, I'm gonna ask you the same thing that I asked Archie, was it the last person in here? I'm gonna ask you the same thing I asked him. What did you think to the standards of driving today? Not how quick people were. Apparently there was a bit of erratism, or driving that it should not be condoned in Kenco F1.
I'm not gonna name drivers, but yeah, the standards I think dropped a little bit tonight. It did prevent some moves I was gonna make, but thankfully I didn't come out the other end like I usually do. But yeah, I think the standards dropped a little bit.
Any particular colour you could give for us?
Green.
Green, okay, interesting. So we got all throughout the field different perspectives on what kind of racing is acceptable. What would you like to see going forward?
I think just clean racing. I think just clean racing would be the aim, because you know, not we're all human, we all make mistakes, but I think making mistakes that, you know, frequently, you sort of have to think, oh, is he making mistakes, or is he just a genuine dirty driver? So you know,
obviously if you see patterns in it and things, and it's not showing improvement, then you sort of start to realize. So
yeah, because I mean, at the end of the day, it ruins their own reputation, because if I'm behind him, you know, next weekend, if he gets on my nerves, I'll just send it. But I think it just ruins their own reputation in the league, and that's about it.
Yeah, for sure.
Well done today. P2 is still a really strong result. So.
Thanks. I'm so happy. It's only P2, but.
What do you mean only P2? Some drivers would be dreaming about that. But yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
I think you got P2. I think you scored more points today than Ian ever did in Kenco F1.
Very true. I never got a podium. Actually, no. I think I got P3. That was very harsh, by the way. I just like to add.
I'm sorry.
There's a reason why I'm not driving with you lot.
Oh, you got that nice wheel, so.
Yeah, I've got all
that's
the
the
all the
flex,
gear,
that's the
but no idea. Literally for everything, but it's fine.
Right.
But yeah, obviously we've got next weekend off anyway, so hopefully drivers can potentially improve their driving.
Yeah.
Thanks for talking with us, Joe.
No problems. Have a good evening.
You too, mate. Thank you.
I think we can probably get one more in here.
Yeah.
Who else has reacted?
Do
Adam
not
6
mind.
maybe.
Yeah, if he's willing to.
He's had a really good race. I mean, if you can drag me down to Alfa Romeo, I'll see if Dylan's ready for one.
Alfa Romeo or Mercedes? Adam or Dylan? I'm confused.
Oh,
you mean as in drag Adam up here and then?
And I'll go down to Dylan. Yeah.
Okay, calm.
You have to drive.
Hello, have I caught you in something?
Yeah, it's fine, don't worry.
Oh, sorry, they understand. I saw
Yeah,
you
it's
reacted to it, and I just wanted to say, well done.
Yeah,
I mean,
thank you.
the last lap was ridiculous with like 5-6 cars like toppling over each other, but you were luckily on the better side of that, and you probably saw it in your rear view mirrors.
I saw Finzo spin, and that was about it.
Yeah,
Oh, was
I
it
think that
Finzo
was the
or
start
Dylan,
of
I dunno.
Dylan and everyone else spinning. You'll have to watch back the VOD, Adam. But I mean,
Oh,
all
look.
throughout the race, though, you were defending, you were putting out a great race, and as a result, I mean, you're rewarded with P4. I mean, did you want to? Obviously, you qualified P4. You have lost a place, but I mean, best result of I don't know. Is it the best result ever? I don't want to say that and be optimistic.
I think so.
I'm
I don't
pretty
know.
sure you might have had like maybe a P4
I'm gonna
in the past.
I'm gonna class it as my best result, anyways.
Did you enjoy the race under like free safety cars?
It was insanely stressful, but yeah.
Yeah, I feel like
It
it
was
was a lot of focusing throughout the entire race for everybody. No, there was not really a period where you could sort of relax. You know, you were running your own race. You know, 10 seconds in front, 10 seconds behind. You always had a driver to worry about constantly for like the full 50 minutes of the race.
Yeah, the first the first few laps we were going like 3 wide, and I don't know who like slightly tapped me. Like there was nothing wrong with it, but I think he caught my back tire slightly, and the car like almost went like completely sideways, but managed to catch.
Oof. Well, you managed to catch the drift, I suppose, as you could say.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something then, but my mind has completely gone blank. Oh, that's gonna annoy me. I was literally going to ask you a question. Oh yeah, did you we did speak with Joe just a moment ago, and then you were watching the stream about sort of the driving standards. Do you feel like they sort of went down a little bit today, with sort of drivers not giving other drivers enough room? I don't know. I mean, you might not have really seen it from your perspective, but I feel like the racing sort of, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot more pushing and shoving and bumper car action today, but that's just from our perspective. I don't know. You might not. You might think different. I'm not sure.
I think I gave as much room as I possibly.
Yeah, no, I'm not aiming this at you.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I'm just from what I seen. Like.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it was worse than Spa, to be honest.
It's worse than Spa. Fair enough. I suppose Abu Dhabi. It's quite a wide track as well. I suppose so. You know, whereas Spa, I suppose it's always either off on the grass or, you know, at least on Abu Dhabi you've got tarmac to run off onto.
Only slightly worrying bit was Latifi wall.
Yes,
right.
That was hit into at least 3 times today, or at least spun around that. There's something about that corner, I think, in the game and real life. Like
I almost crashed there.
Yeah, even with I mean, you're obviously running the hard tyres. I think that the drivers on the soft tyres were even more worn. I think Finley was on the softs, and they weren't treating him at all very well.
I was terrified of him.
Yeah, obviously. His
Dylan,
tyres
he
were
was, like,
wrecked, though.
so much.
I'm surprised he didn't get a puncture, but again, I mean, I think, I don't know. We'll have to look into it. But yeah, I probably need to head off anyway in a minute. But yeah, great drive, Adam, though. We'll get all the points updated, and hopefully we'll be able to see maybe even a podium not next week, week after. I mean, you're working your way up the grid. I mean, you're currently, I'm trying to look at the driver championship here. I don't know. Yeah, you're currently P10, I think, in the drivers.
Too bad.
With Mercedes P5.
How have I gone P9, P9, P4? I think that's my.
That's an improvement. Certainly an improvement. P9, P9, P4, P4, P1.
Yeah.
If you're going by the math and the patterns.
Maybe the championship. No.
You never know. I mean, it's still anyone's taking. I'm not gonna lie.
Max is too big.
50 points plus 25. Max will be on 75 points. Joe Beam will be creeping up the leaderboard. Yeah, anything's possible. But yeah, thank you, Adam. I appreciate it, and I will see you in a few weeks, I'm sure, along with everybody else.
Thanks.
You're welcome. I'm gonna try and drag up Callum and Dylan now. I don't know if Dylan actually wanted to speak with us. Is that yes? Is Callum here? Earth to Callum. Uh-oh. I'm not sure if... I've just dragged Callum up to the VC, but he's not replying, so I might end the stream here. Never mind. That's fine. But yeah, guys, I'm going to head out now. Thank you very, 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 very much for all tuning in. Apologies again, it's on this channel. I feel really bad, but... hey, I guess it's free advertising to the Kenco Fun channel. I will put in chat if you do want to follow them. Obviously, follow along with all these other Grand Prix in the future. We do qualifying on Friday evenings. There is no race weekend next weekend, though, because we've got a weekend off. But we'll be back in 2 weeks' time, Friday evening, 8 PM. And then we've got an Italian Grand Prix on the Sunday evening, 8 PM. So 2 weeks from today at 8 PM, we'll be live for that one. And hopefully you enjoyed it. I mean, massive thank you to everybody that's obviously raced as well today, that I've spoke with, and yeah, hopefully obviously you enjoyed Callum stepping in there as well for the commentating at the end of the race. Thank you, Callum, and yeah, I appreciate everyone tuning in, and have a lovely rest of your week. I say rest of your week, I think the week's starting tomorrow, but enjoy your week, I should say. But yeah, adios everybody, have a good one, bye.